Hi everyone, this is Sambhavi, and in today's video, we're going to talk about figuring out how affirmations work, how mirror work works, and how subliminals work, because I've been using all three of these things as, the center point, as tips in a lot of my videos. And I've been seeing this all over the internet that people don't actually believe in this and they don't know how it's not working out for them. So right now we're going to figure out how to actually use them, what their purpose is, and what they actually do. And then later on in the video, we're also going to discuss what you've been doing wrong, which is why it's not working out for you. So before we move on to the part of why affirmations and subliminals are not actually working out for you, we need to talk about what their actual purpose is, how to use them, okay? So the first thing is affirmations and subliminals basically try to implant positive thoughts, positive energy, and like positive vibes in your brain, in your subconscious mind specifically, which is then projected into your daily life and which represents you as a person. Like your subconscious beliefs, your subconscious thoughts, your subconscious energy, your overall energy is literally filled with what you think of, what you've always thought of, what energy you bring to the table, what you think about yourself, what you think about other people, and all of that, okay? And the thing is, you need to truly believe what you say. You need to truly believe what you listen to. So if you're basically using affirmations about confidence and you're saying that I am confident, I am not scared of, I'm not threatened when I'm in situations that are new to me or whatever, right? If you're using affirmations like this before going to bed, or just any day, like any time throughout the day, you're just reminding yourself consciously that this is what you're supposed to believe in, then you're actually supposed to believe it in, like when you're saying that. Like you're supposed to believe in what you're saying. So when you repeat that you are confident and that you are not threatened by situations that you've never been in, then you have to actually believe it. Just for the minute that you're repeating that sentence for. Just for as long as you're saying that sentence out loud. And then later on, when it's planted into your subconscious, it projects itself, okay? So in case of subliminals, however, what happens is that instead of repeating positive affirmations out loud for yourself, you're basically listening to these affirmations being said for you, okay? And personally, I recommend this. A lot of people recommend listening to subliminals when you're going to bed. So like you go to bed and then you're playing subliminals in the background. Because when you sleep, your subconscious mind is active the most when you're sleeping. And once it's active, it sort of opens the gates for new thoughts, for new beliefs to enter. And then when you listen to these subliminals and you listen to positive affirmations when you're sleeping, what happens is these positive thoughts get implanted into your subconscious mind, and then all of this is represented into your life later on. It's projected into your life later on. So for example, if you're listening to a subliminal about, how you're gorgeous, how you're beautiful, how you're conventionally attractive, okay? And then the next day, if you're sleeping, okay, and you listen to all of this, and it sort of like rewires your subconscious, and then the next day you suddenly get like a lot of compliments. You don't just get these compliments on the basis of, oh, I listened to the subliminal, that is why it's happening. No. This is also happening because when you were listening to the subliminal, you were truly believing the content that it was putting out. You were truly believing what you were listening to. So what happens is, if you're listening to a subliminal, okay, and you think it's not going to work, you just say, oh, maybe this is not going to work. Maybe this won't work. This is not going to work. This is not it. And you go to bed, and then you're playing that subliminal in the back, okay? And you're listening to this. Subconsciously, you are listening to this and you're trying to consume the content that it's producing. But because your primary belief is that it's not true, is that subliminals don't work, you're going to block the gates. You're not going to let any of this positive energy enter your subconscious mind. And then you feel like, oh, see, I just proved it. Subliminals don't work. They do work, only if you don't let any sort of blockages in their way. So this is basically what happens. You don't believe in subliminals, you don't believe in the power of affirmations or subliminals, and when you're listening to it, you basically create blockages in the gateway, and you do not let these affirmations actually enter your subconscious mind. You don't let their energy enter your subconscious mind. You create blockages because you don't believe in it, and then this happens. And then this further strengthens your belief that subliminals and affirmations don't work. They don't work because you're not letting them do their work. It's literally as simple as that. On top of this, the other reason why it's not working out is because you simply think that listening to subliminals is enough. Like, listening to subliminals and blindly, like mindlessly just repeating affirmations is enough. No. When you're repeating affirmations, when you're listening to subliminals, you have to first visualize what you really want. Like, when you listen to a subliminal that's talking about, let's take the previous example itself, that's talking about conventional attractiveness, you have to visualize how you want people to view you. You want to visualize what exactly you want the subliminal to do for you, okay? And once you've done that, you're basically implanting a belief, a previous belief, like a pre-existing belief that promotes that you're conventionally attractive. And then you start listening to these subliminals, and then you visualize as you listen to these subliminals to strengthen your, rewiring of your subconscious mind, to strengthen your positive belief, that one positive belief that you implanted before you started listening to subliminals. And when we're talking about affirmations, what basically happens is that when you're saying affirmations out loud, you need to truly believe what you're saying. You can't just mindlessly, absent-mindedly just repeat whatever you're seeing on the page, whatever you've written on the page. You need to first, okay, let's say you've collected some affirmations that you want to repeat every day before going to bed. So you write them down on a piece of paper, okay? First thing you need to do is you need to actually believe. Again, visualize first, and then you need to actually believe what these affirmations say. So if you're writing stuff about being confident, you need to say, like, you need to actually believe that this affirmation works in my favor, and then you write it down. And then later on, when you're referring to this piece of paper and you're repeating what it says, at that minute, you're actually supposed to place yourself in that reality that you visualized, and you are supposed to believe what it says on the paper, like what you're repeating. You have to believe that. So now that we've figured out how affirmations and subliminals are actually supposed to work, we're going to move on understanding why they haven't been working out for you. First things first, have you been doing anything consciously to make it work? You can't just listen to them, listen to subliminals and repeat affirmations and hope that it works someday. You have to consciously make efforts towards your goals so that the affirmations and the subliminals can project into your life, and so that they can actually show results. You can't just listen to affirmations and subliminals and sit idle for the rest of the day thinking that, oh, I've listened to subliminals, I've repeated affirmations, it's all going to work out. It will work out. It definitely will work out, only if you actually put efforts into working towards your goal. If you don't do that, it's not going to work out. So now, if you feel like you're not able to, project the affirmations and the subliminals into your life, and that you're not able to make it work for yourself, what you're going to do, like, if you think, this is specifically for if you think that no matter how many affirmations you repeat, no matter how many subliminals you listen to, no matter how much, you try to consciously repeat affirmations throughout the day and it's just not working out for you, and no matter how much belief you put into the subliminals and the affirmations, they're just not projecting into your life. If that's the case, what you need to do is that all of the old beliefs that you've always held, you need to try to consciously, replace them with the beliefs that you want to have instead of the beliefs that you've always had. So once you replace them with the beliefs that you want to have, how you're basically supposed to do it is that if you're in a situation where your first thought is the way your previous self would, think, or is the way your previous self would portray you to be, you're going to immediately replace that with the way you actually want to think. And that actually is the most effective way of changing your entire persona, changing the way you think, changing the beliefs that you hold. that is the easiest way and the most effective way of changing your beliefs. Alright, so guys, this was all that I had for today's video. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next week with a new video. Until then, bye bye, love you.